Did you know Major League Baseball favorites of 155 to 249 with a batting average of 260 or worse are 2514 to 1,304? That's 66% for a return of over 3% versus opposing starters with an ERA worse than 4.50 during the months of June and September. These teams have won by an average margin of 1.4 runs per game. That system is active tonight in my free best bet winner. I'll be previewing later on in this video. But first, welcome to Keim's Corner. My name is Jeff Keim. I'm the president and CEO of Oskeim Sports. I am a featured handicapper at Wager Talk TV. This is Keim's Corner, of course, at Wager Talk TV. Now, on Tuesday, July 28th, we have several promotions going on. One I really want to emphasize. For the first time ever, we are offering $5 Tuesdays at all three websites, wagertalk.com, Sports Memo, and Picks and Parlays. $5 every pick, all picks. Check it out at wagertalk.com, Sports Memo, and Picks and Parlays. How have I done since joining wagertalk.com? Back in February, I'm the number one overall handicapper in win percentage, 195 and 144, 58% for 68 net units of profit. I'm also on a long-term 74-54 run. That's 59%. I'm also documented 128 and 83, 61% in Major League Baseball. And we also have two more promos. Summer special, buy three, get three free. Check it out at wagertalk.com. Just $69, buy three, get three free. And then my favorite, pitch to kickoff special. Get every release I have through the opening weekend of college football. That includes the opening weekend and most likely a 5% best bet winner for me for just $2.99. It's regularly $5.98. This offer expires in a few days. Get on it right now. How have I done in football? I have 34 football national titles, handicapping titles, since 2007. 5 national football titles, finishing number 1. And in the NFL, since 2021, I am a documented 102 and 72, 59% bettors. Check it out at wagertalk.com at Oskeim Sports. Now, let's get to what we're really talking about tonight. The Braves are at the Mets. The Mets won the series opener yesterday, 14-3. Kind of a surprise because the Mets, why? They're dead last in the NL East. They're 45 and 62. They're 5-5 their last 10, just treading water, and they're 23 and 30 at home. Run line alert. I want to make you aware of this run line stat. The Mets have covered the run line in each of their last 7 home games against NL opponents after playing the previous day. So when unrested, they're 7-0 their last 7 against the run line against league foes. The Braves, they entered tonight's game in first place in the NL East with a 62 and 44 record. That's 5.5 games ahead of the second place Phillies and 17.5 games ahead of the cellar dweller Mets. They're 30 and 24 on the road. The Braves, here are some key trends. The Braves have won 14 of their last 15 games as road favorites versus NL East opponents. They have dominated divisional foes this season. They've also covered the run line in 14 of their last 15 games against divisional foes. That's the NL East. That is active tonight. Let's look at tonight's 2 starters. First, let's start with Atlanta starter Chris Sale, one of the best in the game. He has elite command and control, and he limits hard contact. What has Chris Sale done? The veteran southpaw, he enters off a win against the Padres last Thursday. He pitched 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs. Overall, he's 11 and 6 with a 2.19 ERA and 1.05 WHIP in 19 starts. That encompasses 111 innings pitched this season. And those surface statistics are backed up by his underlying metrics: 3.18 xERA, 2.61 FIP, and a 3.04 xFIP. Unbelievable metrics for Chris Sale. Strikeout ratio, unbelievable. 10.66 strikeouts per 9 innings and a 29.7% strikeout percentage. His strong metrics, he still has these metrics despite having a slightly elevated batting average on balls in play, BABIP. That's 304. So positive regression, if it's even possible, could be heading Chris Sale's way. Career against the Mets, what has Chris Sale done? He's 3-0 with a 2.43 ERA with 41 strikeouts and 6 career appearances. Doesn't get any better than that. New York sends Christian Scott to the mound. He has been toiling through the minors, but this 27-year-old, he missed time earlier this season with a hip injury. and he took a loss against the Brewers last Wednesday. He allowed 3 runs over 3 and 2/3 innings. His main issue is control, right? He posted a 1.32 walks per 9 rate in AAA earlier this season. Now he has a 4.12 walk per 9 in the majors across 63 innings of work. He also possesses swing and miss stuff. Don't overlook this fact. 11.1 strikeout per 9 and a 28.8 strikeout percentage. Very impressive. 2 things are trending up for Christian Scott. You should keep an eye on moving forward. He's throwing more strikes. That's obviously going to help his walk ratio. 2, he has increased his curveball usage by 10%. That's important because that's one of his best pitches. And I think finally the coaching staff has noticed that he's better off using the curveball more. It induces more swings and misses. Let's look at the team's respective bullpens. Atlanta, not surprised, 4th in ERA, 5th in xERA, 6th in FIP, and 6th in WAR. They have a 3.46 ERA for those interested, and their xERA is 3.64. How about the New York bullpen? They're 10th in ERA, 3.89, 11th in xERA, 3.83, 11th in FIP, 3.96, and 6th in xFIP, 3.99. So the Mets, with all their issues they've had this year, one issue they don't have is their bullpen. That's been steady and above average, above league average, in almost every underlying metric you can look at. Before I give you my free best bet winner, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment below. It really helps us at Wager Talk TV. I love hearing from you guys. Comment below. Let me know who you like in this game and any other games you like on the card later today and tonight. I'll be taking a look later this afternoon. Now, my free best bet winner for Tuesday, July 28th, will be on the Atlanta Braves with Chris Sale towing the rubber. I have 5 technical trends supporting an investment on the Braves, straight up. Number 1, play on division road favorites of less than -180 coming off a loss, provided they won their second to last game. Why? These teams, these road warriors, are 540 and 356. That's 60.3% for a return of 4% since 2010, including 251 and 157. That's 62% for a return exceeding 5% since 2018. And they've won these games by an average margin of 1.3 runs per game. Technical trend number 2, what we want to do is play against the Mets as underdogs in game 2 and beyond of a series when they're coming off a game in which they had 12 or more hits. As I referenced earlier in the video, the Mets are coming off a 14-3 win over the Braves. In the series opener, they had 19 hits. Why is that bad news for the Mets? Consider this. New York, 9 and 42 straight up, 17.6% straight up, and 61.3% costing bettors against their ROI since 2017. And they've lost these games by an average margin of 1.8 runs per game. That's not going to get it done. We also, trend number 3, we want to play against the Mets versus left-handed starters. They struggle against southpaws. Why? Don't ask. They're 31 and 80, 28% minus 37% return since 2018, including 10 and 40 straight up. That's 20%, costing bettors minus 50%, 57% return since 2021. They've lost these games by 2.2 runs per game over the last 5 seasons. The Mets against lefties, forget it. Technical trend number 4, we want to play against the Mets, shocker, as home underdogs, coming off a win, which they won game 1, versus southpaws in game 2 or beyond of a series. So this is kind of like a subset of the first couple of technical trends I've shared with you today. Why? The Mets, under these circumstances, they're 4 and 22 straight up. That's 15.4% for a negative 60%, 67% return on investment. That is absolutely pathetic. And they've lost these games by an average margin of 3.4 runs per game since 2006. Finally, trend number 5, for our bet on the Braves. What we want to do is we want to simply play on National League teams, favorites, versus the Mets. This is the system I have. It contains an additional parameter, which I'm not going to share here today, but fading the Mets as underdogs against NL League foes. You know what they are? If you fade the Mets under these circumstances, they're 198, 105, 65.3% for a plus 12.6% return on investment for bettors since 2018, simply by fading the Mets against National League favorites. Another way to say that, fade the Mets against NL foes if they're underdogs. There's one other parameter, but that's generally the system. My free best bet tonight here at Kimes Corner on Tuesday, July 28th. Take the Atlanta Braves minus 155, minus 160. That seems to be the consensus line out there across the market. Over the New York Mets today, Tuesday, here, July 28th at Wager Talk TV, wagertalk.com, and Kimes Corner. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't done already so, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. I love hearing from you guys. I will see you next time at Kimes Corner.